This morning, you had a dream. You're almost sure of it. Maybe there was a hallway. Maybe someone was talking to you. Maybe something impossible happened. And in the dream, it felt completely normal. But right now, if someone asked you to describe it in detail, you'd struggle. By tonight, it will be gone. Completely. As if it never happened. And the reason why is far stranger than simple forgetfulness. You probably think dreams fade because they're not important. That's not quite right. Dreams vanish because of how your brain is built, not because of how much they matter. Here's what's actually happening while you sleep. Your brain moves through several stages of sleep each night, cycling roughly every 90 minutes. The most vivid dreams happen during REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. During REM, your eyes dart back and forth beneath closed lids. Your brain becomes almost as active as it is when you're awake. But one key system shuts down almost completely. That system is responsible for memory formation. It's called the hippocampus. Think of the hippocampus as a recording device. While you're awake, it captures the events of your day and helps convert them into long-term memories you can recall later. During REM sleep, this recording device is largely offline. Neuroscientist Matthew Walker, who has spent decades studying sleep at the University of California, Berkeley, has described this as one of the most paradoxical features of the dreaming brain. Your brain is producing incredibly vivid, emotionally intense experiences, while simultaneously disabling the very system that would normally save them. So why do you remember anything at all? The answer lies in timing. If you wake up directly out of REM sleep, the dream is still active in short-term memory, like a sticky note on your mental desk. You can grab it. You can describe it. But that sticky note has no glue. Unless something happens almost immediately, like opening your eyes and consciously holding onto the images, the note falls away within minutes. This is why dreams you remember are almost always the ones right before you woke up. Researchers studying this phenomenon, including physician and sleep researcher J. Allen Hobson, found that dream recall depends heavily on the moment of waking. Wake up in the middle of REM, and you might remember vividly. Wake up an hour later, after transitioning into deep sleep, and that same dream is essentially deleted, overwritten by other sleep processes before it ever had a chance to be saved. There's another piece to this puzzle, and it involves brain chemistry. During REM sleep, your brain has dramatically reduced levels of a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine. Norepinephrine plays an important role in attention and memory consolidation while you're awake. Without enough of it circulating during REM, your brain essentially refuses to file away what's happening, no matter how vivid or strange the experience feels in the moment. Picture trying to take photographs in a dark room. The scene might be elaborate, the lighting might be dramatic, but without enough chemical film to capture it, almost nothing develops. This explains something strange you may have noticed. Sometimes you wake up mid-dream, completely certain you'll remember it. You even tell yourself, "I have to remember this." And yet, minutes later, while making coffee or checking your phone, it's already slipping. Some researchers suggest that fragments of dreams may exist for up to 90 seconds in working memory after waking. But without active rehearsal, that fragile window closes almost immediately. Why would evolution build a brain this way? Why generate such vivid experiences only to erase them? One leading theory suggests the answer isn't about the dream content at all. It's about brain maintenance. Researchers, including neuroscientist Francis Crick, who is best known for co-discovering the structure of DNA, but later turned his attention to sleep and consciousness, proposed that REM sleep may serve a kind of housekeeping function. Crick's reverse learning theory suggested that dreaming might help the brain clear out unnecessary or overloaded neural connections, almost like defragmenting a hard drive. Under this view, the content of the dream is essentially a side effect, not the purpose, which is part of why your brain doesn't bother saving it. More recent research has refined this idea. Sleep appears to play a critical role in processing emotional experiences from the day, helping to file useful information into long-term memory while discarding what isn't needed. The dream itself, the strange imagery, the impossible physics, the conversations that make no sense in daylight, may simply be the visible noise of a much deeper, mostly invisible process. Your conscious mind isn't meant to remember the mechanism. You're only catching glimpses of the machinery at work. There's also a protective angle to consider. Some researchers, including those studying REM behavior, point out that if your brain fully encoded every dream the way it encodes waking memories, your mind could become flooded with confusing, contradictory information. Dreams often violate logic entirely. People who died years ago appear alive. Locations from your childhood blend with places you've never been. If these experiences were stored with the same strength as real memories, separating dream from reality could become significantly harder. In other words, forgetting may be a feature, not a flaw, a kind of built-in safeguard that keeps your sense of reality intact. So what can you actually do if you want to remember more? Sleep researchers generally agree on a few patterns. Waking up naturally, rather than being jolted by an alarm, increases the odds of catching the tail end of REM sleep. Staying still for a few moments after waking, rather than immediately reaching for your phone, gives your brain a small window to rehearse the images before they dissolve. Some people keep a notebook beside their bed, specifically because the act of writing, even just a few fragmented words, can anchor a dream just long enough to recall more of it later. None of this changes the underlying biology. Your hippocampus will still struggle to record what happens during REM. But you can work with the narrow window your brain gives you instead of against it. Think about what this means about the relationship between your sleeping mind and your waking one. Every night, you generate hours of vivid, often emotionally intense experience. Worlds appear. Conversations happen. Fears play out in vivid detail. And almost all of it disappears, not because it didn't matter, but because your brain was never designed to keep it. If your brain is this strange every single night, make sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Tonight, you'll dream again. And tomorrow morning, in those first few seconds after opening your eyes, you'll be holding on to something your brain has already started to let go of.